Good morning, students. Today, on 22nd April up to 2021, I am going to discuss epidemiology of infectious disease via recorded version of my lecture. This is recorded exclusively for you, students of High Tech Medical College, Rourkela, second year batch, and it is not shared in public. Only those who have the link of YouTube can watch the video multiple times. So hopefully you will be benefited from this recorded version of my lecture. Epidemiology is an important concept in community medicine. It is the study of agent, host and environment relationship of any disease. As per the community medicine, you will read that the disease is of two types. One is communicable disease, another one is non-communicable disease. Example of non-communicable disease is diabetes, hypertensive disorder, heart disease, different endocrinal disorder, etc. And communicable disease covers the all infectious disease, which is communicable to one person to another person. And this epidemiology is applicable for both non-communicable disease as well as the infectious disease or communicable disease. As per the new view of National Medical Council NMC, we will teach the microbiology and community medicine in an integrated fashion, because the epidemiology aspect is dealt with in community medicine and the infectious disease part is discussed in microbiology, and we will integrate these two subjects, and we are now delivering this lecture in an integrated fashion. Now starting with the topic, after end of this my lecture, the student will be able to define infection and related terminologies like infestation, like colonization, infestation, etc. They can discuss the epidemiological pattern and different indicator of epidemiology of disease. They can define the eradication, what is eradication, what is elimination, what is control of disease, and they can also discuss the epidemiological determinants which determine the disease causation. Okay. So these are the learning objective of my today's lecture. What is infection? What is the definition of infection? It is a process in which a pathogenic organism enters inside the body, establishes itself, attach with the host cell, multiply with the binary fission and invades the normal anatomical barrier of the host, resulting in disease. When infection becomes apparent, result in clinical manifestation, it is referred as infectious disease. Means, just a infection cannot lead to infectious disease. When a infection leads to apparent clinical manifestation, only then it can be labeled as infectious disease. Okay. In infection, the bacteria or any microbes invade the body, produce disease, and as well as it elicit a specific immunoresponse, means it produce the antibody against these microorganisms, and also it activates specific cell mediated immunity, T cell immunity also, and it is a very much specific, this immunoresponse is a very much specific for a particular microorganism. So elicitation of specific immunoresponse is a indicator of infectious disease, but not for colonization. That is the second term. What is colonization? Colonization is a pathogenic. It is a process in which pathogenic organism enters, multiply, but does not invade the epithelial barrier, anatomical barrier of the body, and neither cause disease nor elicit specific immunoresponse. This is the last point, is very much important. Colonization does not lead to an infectious disease, as well as it does not elicit specific immunoresponse. elicitation of specific immunoresponse, it is a highly indicator of infectious disease, not colonization. So colonization does not mean infectious disease. It is just presence of bacteria or any microorganism inside the body. Now third term, infestation. What is infestation? Already said in parasitology, in introduction to parasitology, we have said, it is discussed that parasite are of two types, ectoparasite and endoparasite. Ectoparasite are those parasites just who invade or inhabited the surface of the body without any invasion inside the body. And what are the endoparasite? Endoparasite invade the body and enters inside the body and produce the disease. So infestation refers to inhabiting the surface of the body of the host by certain larger parasite called as ectoparasite without penetrating into the tissues. What are the example of ectoparasite? Lice, mite, flea, etc. So just they inhabited the surface of the body but does not invade the epithelial barrier of the skin. Okay. Next, what is the important definition? Healthcare associated infection. What is the definition of healthcare associated infection? It is defined as a new infection acquired in a healthcare facility, means hospital, by a patient within 48 hours of admission, which was neither present nor incubating at the time of admissions. Mean it is exclusively transmitted from the hospital, not from the community, only after 48 hours of admission. If this infection or infectious disease occurs within 48 hours or before the admission, this is called, the second slide, community associated infection. So after 48 hours of admission, it is hospital acquired infection, or within 48 hours or before the admission, if the patient suffers from an infectious disease, it is called community associated infection. Refer to infection which develop in the community, means before admission, the infection transmitted from the community person, or within 48 hours of admission to a healthcare facility. So this is an important concept. Please remember this. What is the definition of healthcare? What is the difference between the healthcare associated infection and community acquired infection? Epidemiological pattern. There are different terminology. It is you are very much habituated with the term pandemic. In the recent corona outbreak, the corona becomes now pandemic all over the world. Now related to this pandemic, there are another terminology that is like outbreak, epidemic, pandemic, hyperendemic or sporadic. What is outbreak? Outbreak means sudden rise in the number of cases in an area, in a particular area. It can also be a single case in a new area. If it is not quickly controlled, an outbreak can become an epidemic. So the mild version of the epidemic is called outbreak. It is only just rise of number of cases in an area. Example, cholera outbreak in Bengaluru in 2020 affecting 17 people. Nipah virus encephalitis outbreak in Kerala in 2018 resulting in 18 cases and 16 deaths. So this is just affecting a small number of people, just it is the rise of number of cases in an area. Next terminology, what is epidemic then? If the infection occurs at a much higher rate than usual in a particular geographic area, it is called an epidemic. If it is not quickly contained, it spreads all over the world and result in pandemic like corona. Classical example of epidemic, SARS epidemic in China in 2003. SARS means severe acute respiratory syndrome virus epidemic. Ebola, it is also a virus, filovirus. The epidemic occurred in 2014 in Africa. And Zika, again it is a virus, Zika epidemic in Brazil in 2015, example of epidemic. What is pandemic then? The epidemic which covered all over the world or a large area of the world is known as pandemic. Infection that spreads rapidly to large areas of the world is known as pandemic. Example include this recent COVID-19 pandemic in 2020 affecting more than 200 countries. It is affecting all over the world. So it is called pandemic, not the epidemic. If it is contained in a specific country, it is called a specific geographical area, it is called epidemic. But when this epidemic covers all over the world, it is called pandemic. H1N1 pandemic in 2009, Spanish flu in 1980, it was also a pandemic. Cholera, 7 pandemic of cholera have occurred so far in the past. Means it spreads all over the world from India or Bangladesh. What is then endemic? Endemic is a disease occurs as a persistent, usually low level in a certain geographical area. It is called as endemic. India is endemic for several diseases such as typhoid fever, cholera, filariasis, malaria, etc. Okay, so it is a small level of certain persistence of in a low level in a certain geographical area. It is called endemic. Like the typhoid fever is endemic in India. Okay, cholera is endemic in India, etc. Now, what is hyperendemic? When a disease occurs at a persistent high level in a geographical area, it is called as hyperendemic. It is a higher version of endemic, hyperendemic. Okay. Example, India is hyperendemic for hepatitis A and E. So, India is endemic for typhoid, but hyperendemic for A, hepatitis virus A infection, and hepatitis E infection, both cause diarrhea. India was hyperendemic for polio until 1990. After this 1990, due to the massive immunization program and pulse polio immunization program, now it is at the polio in India is now in control. So what is sporadic infection? When occurs at irregular intervals or only in a few places, scattered or isolated, it is called sporadic. Example, several sporadic cases of cholera occur in India every year. Epidemiological indicator. Usually it is discussed or it is taught in community medicine, but due to the integrated nature of recent syllabus, we are now teaching this aspect of community medicine in microbiology also. What is incidence? What is prevalence? What is case fatality rate? What is the incidence rate? It is a rate. It is defined as number of new cases occurring in a defined population during a specified period of time, usually taken as 1 year. In this, the numerator is number of new cases in a year divided by population at risk during the same period. Population at risk means the vulnerable population into 1000 is the incidence rate. What is prevalence rate? Refers to all current cases, old and new, existing at a given point of time. It is more useful for diseases that have a longer course such as tuberculosis, HIV, hepatitis B, etc. So the disease which have longer course, they have much more prevalence than incidence. And the disease like influenza, those who have very much shorter course, they have very much high incidence rate but low prevalence. What is the numerator in prevalence rate? Number of all current cases, old plus new, existing at a given point of time divided by estimated population at the same point of time into 1000. Mortality rate, number of deaths due to a specific disease in a year divided by mid-year population into 1000 is the mortality rate. Total number of deaths due to a disease in a given time, usually a year, as compared to the mid-year population. Okay, mid-year population. Then what is case fatality rate? It is the number of deaths due to a specific disease and total number of cases due to specific disease. Like if you take the example of COVID-19 of 2020, what is the case fatality rate? It is very much high. It is approximately 3 to 7% case fatality rate in COVID-19. number of deaths due to COVID-19 in 2020 divided by total number of COVID-19 cases in 2020 into 100. So it is the definition of case fatality rate. In numerator, total number of deaths, and in denominator, total number of cases of that particular disease. It is the case fatality rate. It actually indicates the severity of the infection. Okay, how much lethal the infection is usually determined by this case fatality ratio. Okay. Next, overall attack rate. What is overall attack rate? It is the incidence rate expressed in percentage during an epidemic. Like if we take the example of H1N1 epidemic, number of H1N1 new case during the winter season in 2020 divided by population at risk during the same period into 100. Okay, it is the overall attack rate. What is then secondary attack rate? It is the number of exposed person developing into disease within the range of incubation period following exposure to a primary case. What is primary case? It is the index case. The first case in the community acts as a source of infection to others. It is called the primary case or index case. And secondary attack rate, it is the number of exposed person developing into the disease which come into contact with this index case. Okay. So in numerator, in this rate, number of cases among contacts of primary case divided by total number of contacts into 100. Okay. And in this corona infection, the secondary attack rate is very much high, specifically in this, the second peak of coronavirus. What is basic reproduction number? It is the average number of secondary cases produced by a primary case in a given population. It is called the basic reproduction number. Okay, the number of secondary cases produced by a single case is called the basic reproduction number. What is eradication? What is elimination? What is control? Next topic of discussion. What is eradication? Eradication refers to the complete and permanent worldwide reduction to zero new case of the disease through deliberate efforts. Okay, eradication from the root. Okay, so if a disease has been eradicated, no further control measures are required. Only disease has been eradicated from the whole world is smallpox in 1980. Polio is in the way of eradication, is in the verge of eradication. Most countries, including India, have already declared polio free, except some countries like Pakistan, Nigeria, and Afghanistan. Guinea worm infection caused by dracunculiasis. It is a parasite already discussed in parasitology chapter, also eradicated from most of the world, including India, except few countries from sub-Saharan Africa. So now India is now smallpox free, Guinea worm disease free, and polio is in the way of eradication. Okay, due to the mass immunization pulse polio program. Now what is elimination? Refers to the reduction to zero or approximate very low defined target rate of new cases in a defined geographical area. Elimination requires continued measure to prevent re-establishment of disease transmission. If we fail to continue the measure, preventive measure, anytime the disease can come back or re-establish in the community. So we have take the continuous measure to prevent that re-establishment of disease transmission in case of disease elimination. So eradication is the best, but elimination is better than control. Okay, control is good, elimination is better, eradication is the best. The disease which attain elimination in India include neonatal tetanus and leprosy. It is reduced to almost zero, but not zero, but it is a very low defined target rate. Tetanus and leprosy has been reduced, total number of cases per year. What is then control? Control refers to reduction of disease incidence, prevalence, morbidity or mortality to a locally acceptable level as a result of deliberate efforts. However, continued intervention measures are still required to maintain that reduction, like diarrheal disease. So again, if we cannot continue the intervention measure, preventive measure, then the control can be failed and it can convert into the elimination. If we cannot continue the preventive measure in case of elimination, the elimination can convert into the control. Okay, so control is good, then Elimination is better than control and eradication is the best. Next, epidemiological determinants of disease causation. Epidemiological triad is agent, host and environment relationship. Already said during the introduction period, it is the epidemiology means it is the study of agent, host and environment. Agent means in epidemiology of infectious disease, agent is a microbe, bacteria, virus or parasite or fungus. Host is human and environment is the different environmental factors that influence the disease causation. Next, now what are the different agent? You know that already said bacteria, virus and different virulence factor that is expressed by different microbes is the determinant of agent factor in epidemiology of disease. Host factor, different host factor means the immunostatus of the human or patient, or age, sex, racial factor, etc., or the different previous disease can affect the disease manifestation, infectious disease. If the patient immune system is very much weaker, corona infection becomes severe in that group of people, so it is called that the corona is very much lethal in old age group. Why it is more severe in old age group or the patient with comorbidity? Because the host factors are very much weak in corona infection. So not only the virulence factor of corona, but also the host immunosystem also play a role in the corona outbreak. And environmental factors like the total rainfall, what is the different environmental pH, temperature also actually determine the disease manifestation. Okay. Agent factor, already said, it is the variety of agent related virulence factor influence whether the exposure of organism will result into the disease. It is usually the virulence factor of the microbes actually determine the agent factor. Infective dose also determine. If the infective dose is very much low, it does not produce disease. It is very much high, then it can produce disease. Exception are there, like in Shigella infection, the infective dose is very much low, and in case of typhoid, the Salmonella infectivity dose is very much high. Source or reservoir, human or animal. Mode of transmission, it also determines the disease pathogenicity, like corona only transmitted by airborne routes or inhalation route, not by ingestion or vector-borne or vertical transmission or another routes. It is only transmitted by contact or with the help of inhalation or through the respiratory tract only. Corona cannot be transmitted by food. So this determines the mode of transmission, also determines the disease manifestation, infectivity or communicable, how much it is infective, how much it is communicable to secondary case. It also determines the disease pathogenicity, secondary attack rate and R0 factor, that is the also determinative of disease causation. Host factor, already said, age, gender and race, underlying disease or pregnancy. Remember, pregnancy is also a immunosuppressive condition and patient becomes much more vulnerable to infection at this period. Underlying immunostatus and nutritional status. Also, if the patient nutrition is very much poor, the infection also increase in that group of patient. Occupational status, some occupational status is very much vulnerable to specific disease. Personal practice, hygiene and sexual practice. When in case of high risk behavior, the sexually transmitted disease is much more in a specific group of public, and genetic makeup also determine the disease pathogenicity. Seasonality, in case of environment, resistance to disinfectant, effective antimicrobial agent, soil, moisture, oxygen, rainfall, temperature also determine these are the all environmental factors that determines the disease causation. Organism pathogenicity. Pathogenicity refers to ability of the organism to cause disease. Not all, but only the pathogenic organism are capable of producing disease. This is because they express specific virulence factors that allow the organism to become established in a host and maintain the disease state. Infective dose, already said, in case of Shigella, Cryptosporidium parvum, E. coli, O157 or H7, Giardia and Campylobacter jejuni require small inoculum to small number of bacteria to initiate the infection, but In case of salmonella or in case of cholera, Vibrio cholerae, the infective dose is very much high compared to the Shigella infection. What is source? Source refers to a person, animal or object from which the microorganism is transmitted to the host. Okay. Reservoir is the natural habitat in which the organism lives or multiplies. It may be a person, animal or arthropod. It may be a plant, soil or substance on which the organism is dependent for its survival, where it reproduces and can be transmitted to susceptible host. The disease that can be spread from one person to another are called communicable disease. Already said in community medicine, you will be taught that there are two types of disease. One is communicable disease. Most of the infectious diseases are communicable disease, and different lifestyle disease like diabetes, hypertension, ischemic heart disease, different endocrinal thyroid disorders. These are the non-communicable disease that cannot be transmitted from one person to another person. What is case? They are the person in a given population identified as having a particular disease. And what is a carrier? Carrier means patient is not suffering from any disease, only he or she is harboring the infectious organism and spreading to others. Means case or patient means the patient is having the microorganism as well as he is suffering from the disease. But carrier is a person who is harboring the microorganism inside the body but not manifested any disease or not suffering from any disease due to this microorganism. And this carrier acts as a source of infection to others. Very important. It is very much important concept as a source for coronavirus also. Many of us, we are harboring the coronavirus in our respiratory tract and spreading to others but without any suffering from corona disease. Okay. So it is advised that everyone should wear at least a normal surgical mask to prevent the spread of the coronavirus to others. Okay. Now types of carrier, there are different types. Incubatory carriers means during the incubation period of the disease, the patient is harboring or spreading the microorganism to others. Healthy carriers means patient has suffered the disease in past, now recovered, and then still he is spreading the disease, spreading the organism to community. It is called healthy carrier. Patient is not having the disease now. He has suffered it in past, but now still he is excreting the virus or bacteria through his body, okay, to others, and he is spreading the infection to others. It is very much important concept in typhoid. There was a typhoid Mary, that is a cook, American cook, who actually was a carrier of Salmonella typhi and spread huge number of typhoid fever case to others. And convalescent carrier, convalescent means patient has suffered the disease recently, now he is recovering phase, not healthy but he is in recovery phase and still spreading the infection to others. It is called convalescent carrier. Depending on the duration of carriage, it may be temporary, it may be chronic. Temporary carriers, those who are spreading the disease not more than 6 weeks, and chronic carriers who are harboring the infectious organism and spreading the infection to others after 6 weeks also. Okay, so chronic carrier, the cutoff is 6 weeks. 6 weeks, less than 6 weeks, temporary carrier, and more than 6 weeks, chronic carrier. Now animal reservoir, sometimes reservoir can be animal also. Source of infection may sometimes be animal or birds. The disease and the infection which are transmitted to man from vertebrates are called zoonosis. What is zoonosis? Zoonosis is the infection which is transmitted from vertebrate to man. It is called zoonosis. Okay. Now, mode of transmission also determine the disease pathogenicity or disease causation, like contact. It can be transmitted through contact. Okay, like coronavirus, it can be transmitted by inhalation or respiratory route, like corona, H1N1, influenza, etc. Ingestion like cholera, okay, typhoid. Inoculation, either it may be the inoculation means it is through the inoculation through the skin, like hepatitis B, etc. Transmission of bloodborne infection. What are the different bloodborne infection? Malaria, dengue, mosquito borne. and also HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis E, hepatitis D, sorry, not hepatitis E. Hepatitis is transmitted by ingestion route through contaminated drinks and water. Hepatitis A and E both produce disease called diarrhea, and they are transmitted by ingestion route. Ingestion means the through ingestion of contaminated drinks and water, contaminated drinks and food. But hepatitis B and hepatitis D, they are blood-borne infection. They are transmitted only through the blood. Okay, vector-borne like mosquito-borne, dengue, malaria, etc. Or vertical transmission means mother to fetus. When it is transmitted, the disease, infectious disease is transmitted from mother to fetus. It is called vertical transmission. Okay, like rubella infection, rubella toxoplasmosis, they can be transmitted vertically from mother to fetus. Even the hepatitis B or HIV can also be transmitted in vertical route. Okay, so mode of transmission also determine the disease epidemiology. Infectivity or communicability means refer to the ability of infectious agent to transmit from one person to another. Period of communicability or period of infectivity is the time during which an infectious agent may be transferred directly or indirectly from an infected person to another person. So the time period by which one organism can be transmitted from one person to another is called period of communicability. Okay. And period of communicability is a very much important concept in different infectious disease. The period of communicability is usually the 2 days before the onset of rash to 5 days after the onset of rash in case of chicken pox, and in case of measles it is 4 days before onset of rash. Main manifestation of measles and chicken pox is the rash. Okay. Now 2 days in case of chicken pox and measles, it is 4 days before the onset of rash. The patient can transmit the disease to others, and it is up to 4 days in case of measles and 5 days after the onset of rash in case of chicken pox. In case of mumps, the main manifestation, the primary manifestation is parotitis, inflammation of the parotid gland. You know, parotid gland is a salivary gland. There is a mumps. The main manifestation is parotitis and fever, and the disease can be transmitted from one patient to another 2 days before onset of parotitis to 5 days after the onset of parasitis. In case of rubella, it is -1 to +1 week of onset of rash, means 1 day before onset of rash to after 1 week of onset of rash. Influenza, it is -1 to 5 to 7 days of onset of symptoms. And in recent COVID-19, you can say it is 2 days before onset of symptom. Main symptom is fever. 2 days before onset of symptoms and after 10 days of onset of fever, the period of communicability means COVID can be transmitted from one person to another person. Okay, so it is called the COVID-19 becomes non-infectious to others only after 10 days after onset of fever. In case of COVID-19, for safety purpose, we can extend it to 14 days from 10 days. Okay, so agent which higher secondary attack rate can rapidly infect to their contacts like measles, mumps, rubella, diphtheria, pertussis, etc. Agent with higher basic reproduction number can transmit faster and more efficiently like influenza and COVID-19. What is basic reproduction rate number, or R0? Is the average number of secondary case from a primary case. It is called the basic reproduction number, and it is very much higher in influenza and COVID-19. So it is transmitted very fast. So specifically, it is reduced in the second peak of COVID-19 due to the mutation of the new strain in the UK strain of COVID-19. It has very much higher basic reproduction number, so it is transmitting nowadays very fast from one person to another person and giving a peak of secondary wave. Now host factor like age. If the old age immune system is weak, more vulnerable to infection. Male, female, sometimes some infection is more vulnerable to some has some gender predilection. Pregnancy is a weak immune system status, so it is more vulnerable. This period is more vulnerable for infection, specifically the hepatitis E. Hepatitis E infection cannot produce disease in normal condition or cannot be lethal or severe. But in case of pregnancy, hepatitis E become dangerous because of low immunostatus, and it may be lethal. Hepatitis E is lethal in pregnancy. Host immunostatus, if the patient is immunosuppressed due to different cause, like it may be HIV due to the immunosuppressive drugs like azathioprine, or due to taking of steroid also reduce the immune system. Diabetes also immunosuppressive test, and in this condition the patient become more vulnerable to infection. Prior immunity, if the patient has suffered the same disease or has taken the vaccine, the immunity is boosted, so there is reduced incidence of new infection in that group of patient. Nutritional status, poor nutritional status is a low immune status, and underlying comorbid status, if the patient is having another comorbid condition like the chronic renal failure or any diabetes or any hypertension, etc., patient suffers from this condition, comorbid condition, lead to more incidence of infectious disease and disease severity. It is very much applicable for this recent COVID-19. As you know, the comorbid condition, if the patient is having hypertension, diabetes or cancer or some chronic renal disease, the patient is usually the prognosis of the corona infection is very much poor in that group of patient with comorbid conditions. Okay, and in also in the old age group. Host factor, occupational status, racial susceptibility, sexual practice, high risk behavior like having multiple sexual partners lead to more incidence of sexually transmitted disease like syphilis, HIV, gonorrhea, etc. Hygiene also, obviously it plays a role in specifically in the foodborne outbreak, gastroenteritis, poor hygiene. Okay, poor hygiene practice also it is applicable for coronavirus also. So it is called it is advised to wash your hand repeatedly with the different sanitizers or soap water. So hygiene play an important role in disease manifestation, specifically in infectious disease. And genetic makeup, obviously some are more vulnerable to corona infection. It is seen that a young person without any comorbidity succumb to death due to the corona, but old person with comorbidity with some immunosuppressive drug, he is surviving the corona. So some genetic makeup play important role in the disease severity in infectious disease. It is true, we cannot do anything against this genetic makeup, only we can take the preventive strategy or preventive measures or some safety measures to reduce the incidence of disease in this group of drugs, this group of people who has more susceptibility to infection due to this genetic makeup. Okay. And environmental factors like seasonality, disinfectant, soil, moisture, presence of vectors, and like mosquito, some area are more there are more mosquito, there are less mosquito. In the mosquito infested area, they have more incidence and prevalence of malaria compared to the low mosquito burden area. Okay, so this presence of vector, environmental different factors, pH of the soil and the temperature of the area, the moisture, rainfall also determine the disease pathogenicity in infectious disease. So after end of the chapter, we will discuss some MCQ for better understanding. If the infection occurs at a much higher rate than usual in a particular geographic area, it is known as much higher rate, means it is epidemic. Okay, first one, epidemic. Epidemic is much higher rate. What is endemic? At a controllable, it is a low level. If it is in low level present, it is endemic. Hyperendemic, higher than normal level, and sporadic means that is scattered incidence of infection. It is sporadic. Average number of secondary cases produced by a primary case in a given population is known as the last one, basic reproduction number. And this basic reproduction number is very much higher in mutant strain of coronavirus. So in the second peak of corona, the secondary case is from the infection is transmitted from primary to secondary case very fast. Okay. Next, reduction of disease incidence, prevalence, morbidity or mortality to a locally acceptable level as a result of deliberate efforts is known as disease control. Okay, disease control. It is not eradication. Eradication means the new cases become zero. Elimination means very low level, and source reduction means there is reduction of the source of the infection. And control is it is a locally acceptable level, reduction of disease to a locally acceptable level. Aerosol transmission. occurs means through the respiratory route in all except Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Pneumococcus, measles virus, varicella. Remember, all first one and third, fourth one transmitted by aerosol transmission, but not the pneumococcus. Pneumococcus is not transmitted by the aerosol route, aerosol route or the droplet routes. So, this is the answer. So, this is the end of my today's topic. Hopefully, you have enjoyed this, and if you have any doubt, you can ask in the WhatsApp group. We'll answer it as soon as possible. And thank you for watching the video. Okay, thank you.